brought to you by CCT.
With us today is the Honorable Alvera Maduro-Caines, third-term legislator and representative of the 6th Electoral District. Today she talks Shamoi Dagou, prison reform, Emancipation Celebrations, and of course the Consumer Protection Bill. So much more coming up with the Honorable Alvera Maduro-Caines right after this commercial break.
What are you really running for, boss? You could have bust a hole in your head. But see, with the competition, which means you're about to bust a hole in your pocket.
I could get my modem, please.
Anyhow, I got something huge to show you.
You gotta be sick in your head.
The whole on string bean, taking a kind of party. Check this. That's LTE1 for just about everyone. LTE2 for you and your boo. And hold on. Bam! Rate so low, you feel like you're free. That's LTE3 for you and the whole family.
Save even more on your internet with new pricing from CCT. Get LTE 2 now for only $149. Get LTE 3 for the new low price of $189. All packages are unlimited, so there's no overage charge. You don't have to run into chats for savings. Just stop by our store and sign up today. Come on over to CCT. Life Unlimited.
Honorable Caines, welcome to 284 Media.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, there has been so much going on in our community recently. I want to begin this interview by having you enlighten us a little bit about some of the progress that has been taking place within the 6th District.
Okay. Well, district work is a continual project, projects going on from time to time. Since I've been re-elected, we started work on the Fisherman's Wharf again.
Okay, yes, we see that.
Yeah, 2 gazebos have been erected, and where the fencing is going to come in shortly of that area, because we're making it a relaxing playground type of atmosphere. So we have to be careful. So we are fencing both sides of that strip. And
what is your vision for the Fisherman's Wharf?
I created that space so it could be someplace you can just go a Sunday afternoon, have a picnic.
Okay.
The kids in the playground, we're going to put a play area, swings and slides for the kids. Just a little relaxing area so that persons from the district could have a place they don't have to venture down to the QE2 park or another park to have just a relaxing afternoon.
And of course, I understand that it is your desire to have it named in honor of the former representative, the Honorable Omar W. Hodge.
Yes, because he fought hard for that area to become a fisherman's wharf for the fishermen in the district.
Okay.
But then this little strip was there created, and we decided to enhance it and make it something really good for the people of the district.
Do we have a timeline as to when works are going to be completed, or is it a phased process?
No, well, we're hoping most of it will be completed before the end of the year.
Okay, wonderful.
And then we ventured over to the CSY beach, where I've replaced the covered benches, that the elders used to enjoy so much before the hurricane took them away. So we're doing a massive cleanup over there as well. And, making it that nice little sanctuary for the elders who go there, especially in the early mornings. Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Now, recently, Shamoi Dagou, one of the young men in your constituency, his story has gone viral for a number of reasons. He was arrested and charged with looting television from Infinite Solutions. And of course, the ruling came out and he was sentenced to 26 months. Now, you spoke about it in the House of Assembly. I want us to break it down for the general public. What are your thoughts on this?
My thoughts on it are, it seems a bit unfair, because when you look at the other persons who were caught looting and seeing that they got community service, and their case was heard in the magistrate court, but for some reason, Mr. Dagou went to the High Court, which I can't understand. And here you have a promising young man in the community, basketball star, softball star, represented your country, and a television that costs under $300. You've been given 26 months. It doesn't add up when you look at the other cases, that persons who are involved with, and not even just in looting. I remember a case sometime back where this young man shot this young lady, and he didn't get arrested. He was fined $5,000, and I could name a number of instances
Well, I
where
can
it
name
just doesn't.
a number of them for you. We have
Yeah.
Lolita Calendar receiving 6 months for falsifying an HIV test. We have a young man
Yes.
in Virgin Gorda getting 32 months for shooting at someone. The magistrate also mentioned that he was a prime candidate for rehabilitation.
Exactly.
But I guess Mr. Dagou is not a prime candidate for rehabilitation.
And that's what bothers me,
Yep.
seeing his background, because we know him as this active sportsman in the district, not just in the district but in the island. So it bothers
and
me.
not taking away anything from the offense. We do agree that it is.
Yes, you have to get some kind of
Absolutely,
punishment,
yeah.
But when you look at it just doesn't add up. A few years ago, I had a case, similar young man I work with, and that was his first offense, as well as Dagu's first offense. And he was given 9 years.
Wow.
9 years. They didn't catch him with anything, but he was seen on the camera around the area, the house that the stuff was stolen from. 9 years.
No, as someone who sits at the table, of course you're on the opposition, but that doesn't mean that you don't have a voice. It doesn't mean that you can't make significant contributions, which you have been doing. As someone who sits at the table of the persons who are responsible for enacting laws that could help us, what needs to be this conversation? Where does it need to go?
It needs to go. We need to overhaul the judiciary progress and see what is going on. How do they determine sentencing? In various cases, what guidelines are there that we would need to look at to have changed? So that all our young men don't end up in Balsamgot, for something that they could be sent to a rehab center to overcome. Because when you send them up there, it's like some of them, their reputation are now ruined.
The reputation not only is ruined, but what I find even more daunting is that you're institutionalizing someone, and that process does not affect everyone the same way.
Exactly.
You have persons who can come out and restart and be able to be members of the community and hold their own, but you also have those who are severely tarnished, mentally. And that's something that we need to look at as well.
Yeah, because at Balsamgot it's not easy. You have to be strong to survive, because I visit there often.
But
and
speaking about Balsamgot, yes, you've been a part of prison reform for a very long
for
time.
a very long time.
Tell me about your relationship and the interaction with the inmates at Her Majesty's Prison.
Very well. I go and I chat, I sit down, I listen. If I have to do something on the outside to help, I help. And they're very appreciative, And sometimes they often say, you're the only one that comes and look for us and, sit and talk with us. Every year I throw a party for them.
Yes.
I do basketball tournaments within. So they are inmates, but they're human, and persons often ask, why do I take the time with them? You have to. Somebody has to, and they're not lost. They're not all lost. There are actually some good guys up there. Some just given to peer pressure, so you just have to continue talking with them.
And we support you and continue to do your best in that regard.
Yes.
Recently, the Consumer Protection Bill came up and was passed in the House of Assembly. You were the former Junior Minister of Trade, even though it was for a short time. You did serve in that capacity.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the bill?
The bill is a good bill, and it's been a long time coming, and it's needed. What we have to be careful with is not to make the bill look too one-sided, where only the consumer would be protected, but you have to think on the business
You have to look at both
persons
sides.
too, yes, because the business people are also consumers to other persons, and they have their trials and tribulations, with those persons. So you have to create a balance,
Okay.
where we'll be looking out for both the consumer and the business owner as well.
Okay.
But the bill is truly needed.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
It is 65 years of Emancipation
Yeah.
Celebration, and you have long been one of the many faces of festival,
Yeah.
former chairperson for a number of years of
Yeah.
the Prince and Princess pageant. What does it feel like for you to not only be alive, but to be able to enjoy what we now know as our Emancipation Celebrations at this very pivotal time?
Yeah, it's 65 years.
It's a nice chunk of time.
A nice chunk of time. I've been with the festival committee for about 25 years.
Wow.
14 years as chairperson for Prince and Princess in Parade for as long as I could remember. I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you would have known the Black Spinners.
Probably before my time.
Me and my sisters and some friends had the Black Spinners majorette. We were in Parade for maybe 15 to 20 years. We were there a long time. And then I had Secret Troop for about 8 years. And so on many committees. So, I like festival. I like what it brings, and I always remind people to keep in mind it's just not fun. You have to think deep, on the emancipation part of festival.
And understanding how far we've come.
How
as a
far we've
country.
come, exactly.
What are some of the challenges that you feel like we still battle with as it pertains to the running and organization of the festival?
There are always going to be issues and there are always going to be battle. One of the ones that kept coming up year after year is the payment to get into the village.
Okay.
And, recently persons were really aggravated where they just wanted to take the kids to Coney Island and had to pay the fee to enter
As
the
if they were
village.
going to the village.
As
correct.
if they were going to the village. And if you have 3-4 children, to pay $30 or $40, because now it's $10 extra, I understand, you have to pay if you don't have a ticket. And you have to pay a ride is $6, $7. It adds up.
And it takes away from the overall experience as well for
Exactly,
parents. Right.
exactly. So that's something that I have spoken about before, and we have to get it.
By simply
remedied.
perhaps putting a division.
A division
two
between,
entrances. Okay.
yes, 2 entrances. So if you're just going to Coney Island, you just take that one entrance. You're going to the festival village, you take the other entrance. And we must
Do you
get it
think
started
that some
out.
persons will argue that, listen, we understand that you want to take your child to the Coney Island. You just need to figure out a day to take them when it's not a big
paid night.
There are persons who would say that you really don't have to take them on that day. You could take
Yeah,
them
of
on
course.
another day.
Yeah, we had that talk. But,
Okay.
some persons are work on schedule, and their schedule may not always fit the free nights. So to eliminate all of that, just barricade the Coney Island from the festival village and create their own entrance. It's not something that's had to be done, and speaking to troop owners, to one of the other issues they're encountering, they have a troop, you might have 4 sections, they're asking now to pay to register each section. It's one troop, and the troop owners have a hard time raising money, getting sponsors and raising money, because a lot of them have been raising money
It's a
on
tall
their
order.
own. Yeah, it's a tall order. And now you're telling me I have this issue, I have to register. No. We need to make it more simpler for the troop owners when it comes to the parade,
Okay.
and to enter the parade. But, all in all, I'm a festival kind of person.
All right. Well, we're happy to see you, and we might not see you in a troop this year, but we know
No,
you'll be
of course
present.
not.
I
No.
want to touch before we go, Honorable Maduro. Your first time being on the opposition. There have been persons within the recent months after election who feel as though perhaps the present opposition is a little too quiet and perhaps timid. You don't necessarily have to debate just for the sake of debating.
Right.
But for those persons who would claim that you guys are not being vocal enough as it pertains to whether it is the fast track regularization or the no consumer protection bill and other issues that come up, what do you say to those claims?
No, I don't think we have been quiet. Most of us have spoken on the bills that have been brought to the House already. We're not, I don't like the rowdy kind of.
Okay, that's not your style.
That's not my style. So if that is what they're looking at, I don't think you would get much, at least not from me.
Okay.
But we will speak when we have to speak. We would object when we have to object or oppose. So I don't think we're being quiet at all. We have spoken on the bills that have been brought so far.
Okay. Honorable Maduro, thank you so much for stopping by our 284
Yes.
Media Studios. It's always a pleasure to see you, and happy
Pleasure to
festival.
be here. Same to you. Same to you. Thank you.
When you need to stay connected with friends and families at home or abroad, the best choice for you is Freedom. CCT Freedom. With the lowest rates in the market, our Freedom plan gives you unlimited calls and texting. Plus, our Freedom One package includes 10 gigabits of super fast, unlimited LTE data and unlimited calls to the BVI, USA, USVI, Canada, Puerto Rico, and UK lines. Why pay for overages when you can enjoy CCT Freedom? Stop by at one of our stores today and speak with one of our representatives to find out more about our CCT Freedom packages.